Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Launceston Mayor Danny Gibson has confirmed his Working with Vulnerable People registration is under review by the Department of Justice. Annie Green is live for us at Town Hall. Annie, what does this mean for his position?
Kim, Danny Gibson says he'll continue to fulfil his duties as mayor while the review is being conducted. He was informed late last month that his Working with Vulnerable People registration was under review, but he says he's not been advised as to why it's being conducted. Local government elected officials aren't required to hold a Working with Vulnerable People card to perform their duties. It's unclear whether he'll be able to continue his work in community and youth theatre, but says he's complying with all obligations under the Registration to Work with Vulnerable People Act. Launceston City Council says it's a private matter, but it's unclear whether Danny Gibson will attend tomorrow's planned meeting. Kim?
Okay, thank you very much there. That's Annie Green. There's been a major development in the Tasmanian Government data breach. For more, we're joined by state political reporter Josh Duggan. Josh, what do we know?
Kim, we've now learnt that it's financial data of Tasmanians that may have been accessed during the breach. That may include names, addresses, invoices or even bank details, all from the Department of Education, Children and Young People. What we don't know though is if it's from students, subcontractors or even employees, and there's still no confirmation that it has been stolen or that it's been released. Today the Minister defended slowly drip feeding that information.
I will continue to come and give information as it comes to hand and as our investigators are able to let me know that this is credible and real.
Tasmanians have now been urged to keep a very close eye on their financial activity. Kim?
Okay, thank you very much there, Josh Duggan. Well, Tasmania's paramedics are the latest group of public servants set to receive a pay rise, with their deal now registered with the Tasmanian Industrial Commission. A 3.5% increase will apply from the first full pay period, backdated to December 1, 2022. Meanwhile, teachers have agreed to their pay offer from the state government. 90% of union members saying yes to a 4.5% increase in the first year. Students with a disability are overrepresented in school suspensions, according to new data released today. The demographic accounts for 30% of suspensions, despite only representing 12% of the Tasmanian school population. Labor calling for more support.
All Tasmanian students deserve quality education. It's a fundamental human right.
So we've made major investments in terms of support for our students. Suspension is a last resort.
Education Minister Roger Yench says the government is employing more support staff in schools. The name of a 38-year-old man who fell to his death at Cradle Mountain on Sunday has been released. Samuel Liam Winnett of Launceston died while climbing with 3 friends on Weindorfer's Tower. His family says they are absolutely heartbroken, while partner Hannah described him as the kindest, most generous and loving soul. Police are doing everything in their power to keep motorists from veering astray this Easter. Operation Safe Arrival, hoping to stop Tasmania's road death toll from hitting double digits.
Hounding the same safety message year after year, police are fed up with the ignorance of road users when Easter rolls around.
It's very frustrating. We see the results on the road when people engage in these high-risk behaviours. They're called high-risk behaviours because they can end very badly.
Over the last 5 years, there's been 3 people killed on our roads over the Easter period and another 19 people who were seriously hurt.
Police will be out in force over the public holiday conducting Operation Safe Arrival, employing random breath testing sites, high visibility and covert patrols and speed devices to target the fatal 5 behaviours. Authorities warning they'll have all bases covered.
Our resources may be on highways, rural roads, back streets.
The RACT is on their side, asking motorists to plan their trips in advance, keep their vehicles in line with standards and utilise public transport if need be.
Think of the loved ones who will be impacted by the decisions that you make when you get behind the wheel.
Our people who are out and first responders to these scenes, along with other emergency services, they can be met with some really confronting scenes.
Only time will tell if their message was received. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
Public transport has been given a safety boost, with security guards now patrolling metro buses. The fleet of 8 guards have been in action since Monday, with drivers already reporting an improvement in antisocial behaviour.
The next phase will have further support, including body-worn cameras and greater powers to remove people who are doing the wrong thing on public transport.
The opposition has called for guards to be hired by Metro rather than an external agency, but the government says this method has allowed a quicker rollout. A small Tasmanian community is banding together to save its only local banking service. They've been told a Bendigo Bank agency operating from a Beaconsfield hardware store is earmarked for closure later this year. It comes as a Senate inquiry prepares to investigate the extent of bank closures in regional areas.
Frances Seen depends on her local bank. Born and raised in Beaconsfield, these days she needs to stay local.
I mean, I'm on 24/7 with my husband, so it's essential, and I'm computer illiterate.
She's a valued member of her local church, but not being able to travel means she might be unable to fulfil a key role.
Possibly my role as treasurer and that of the Uniting Church community will have to be looked into, because I handle that at this time.
Small business owners are also sounding the alarm. Beauty Point's Platypus House still uses cash.
We need to go into a bank branch, we need to deal with a person, we need to get change, we need to have that support. And that's part of the reason we changed to Bendigo.
A Senate inquiry is looking into the extent of bank closures across the country and the effects they have on communities. Submissions close later this month.
I think it's really important that people do share their voice about informing people what it actually means to live in a regional community.
Beaconsfield community members are calling on Bendigo Bank to reverse its decision. They say the area is growing and it doesn't make sense to take away banking services.
It's a growing community and they're not looking to the future, they're looking at the dollars now.
Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
The iconic Don River Railway has reopened just one day after a fire tore through a maintenance shed at the heart of the site. The blaze destroyed 2 antique carriages and a number of irreplaceable train parts. The damage bill is expected to be in the millions. A GoFundMe set up to support the volunteer-run organisation has raised almost $5,000. Tasmania's best engineered young minds are still pumped with adrenaline after making the final of a Formula One competition for schools. They had no idea how their mini machines would fare against the nation's best, but luckily their painstaking work paid off.
They look like toys, but pound for pound, they're the best engineered balsa blocks you'll see.
Exciting, nerve-wracking, and a lot can be learned.
The Year 8s in Team Convergence engineered this mini F1 marvel, which made it to the final of the recent F1 in Schools Nationals.
The first time we cut the car, it wasn't painted yet, it was just a little block of balsa. It was so exciting.
From marketing to resource management, everyone had a role, but the pilot pressing the button had all the pressure of a split-second moment. That's why the noise-cancelling headphones came in handy.
Making sure you focus on the red lights and not anything else, so that's why the brown noise helped, because it kind of cancels everything else out.
What starts as an 80-gram balsa block is cut down to a shell like this, weighing just 15 grams. Once they add the wheels, aerofoil, stickers and paint, it still only comes to around 50 grams, lighter than an egg.
The first race, you don't really know how it's going to go because the track's different to our testing here.
Another team at the school, Peregrine, was also a finalist in the competition's other division, building inspiration for careers, potentially crafting the full-size machines. Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
Launceston Airport has celebrated its millionth passenger for this financial year. The operators say it's a good sign for tourism, with numbers returning to pre-pandemic levels.
It's a surprising start to this family holiday.
You are the 1 millionth passenger.
Yeah. Kai Greenacre is Launceston Airport's 1 millionth visitor this financial year.
It's great. I mean, it's really good for Tassie tourism, so
it's just good to make sure that you guys have got people coming through after COVID.
Arriving this morning on a Jetstar flight from Sydney, Kai and her family are visiting relatives for the Easter holidays.
We haven't managed to be down here since COVID, so we're stoked to be back travelling again.
Officials at Launceston Airport happy with post-COVID travel trends.
Our arrivals hall here at Launceston Airport can actually be used as a bit of a barometer of the economic development.
Passenger numbers this financial year have already exceeded the previous by 32%, with numbers this month alone at 97% of pre-pandemic levels. Accommodation numbers in northern Tasmania also showing positive signs.
You've got the northern Tasmania getting up near 90% occupancy for the month of February, which is a fantastic result.
Both sectors are looking forward to a bumper Easter long weekend.
Roughly 25,000 people will pass through the airport from Thursday through to Tuesday during the Easter period.
There's always a lot of things going on, not just people trying to travel around and see their families, but there's a lot of other events and other sort of festivals on over the periods.
Mark Zeta, 7 Tasmanian News.
Hobart City Mission's Sleep Rough event is back for a second year, raising funds for Tasmanians experiencing homelessness. Hundreds of sleeping bags rolled out today to resemble the 236 without a roof over their heads on census night in 2021.
It's the worst that it's been in my lifetime, and Hobart City Mission is encouraging people to come along and get a little taste of what it's like to be homeless.
Anything we can do to change people's lives or make a difference, we're really excited to get on board and support the event.
Applications are now open. Students in their final year at Launceston Grammar have begun a challenging journey, setting off for their annual Walkathon. Now, in its 60th year, the Grade 12s will walk through day and night to raise vital funds for charity.
A tradition years in the making, the rite of passage for the Grade 12 students hitting the pavement for a gruelling 24 hours.
It's pretty surreal, sort of sitting up there and then walking away knowing we're about to walk 80 kilometres.
82 pupils walking from Deloraine to Mowbray, testing their resilience, abilities and camaraderie.
It's quite an honour to be able to go on this walk ourselves and build those memories with each other.
The annual Walkathon, all in the name of their chosen charity, this year one closer to home. The cohort hoping to raise $50,000 for the Sony Foundation's You Can Stay program, supporting regional cancer patients travelling for life-saving treatments.
It's impacted a past student that a few of us were quite close to. This charity helps not only the cancer patient themselves, but their whole family.
Rain, hail or shine, the Grade 12s will battle through the night to get to the finish line.
It will be tough a lot of times throughout this walkathon. I think we'll really be able to just draw on that.
And there's a real buzz of excitement and the whole school's excited for them. It's a pinnacle moment of this Grade 12 experience.
They'll be welcomed back through the gates tomorrow morning. Victoria Easto, 7 Tasmania News.
Registrations are now open for Tasmania's oldest family fun run. The City 2 Casino is celebrating 50 years. Organisers hoping to attract 5,000 competitors to mark the milestone.
I've done this event nearly every year since I was 8 years old, bar the years I was injured and we didn't have it due to COVID, but it's just a sentimental factor.
It's a community event and it involves everyone, right from the elite runner down to the primary school children with their parents.
The run is being held on May 21 in partnership with Diabetes Tasmania and will feature a few changes, including a new starting line at MyState Bank Arena. The Royal Flying Doctors Service has been given a big boost thanks to money raised from this year's truck run. The Tasmanian Truck Owners and Operators Association today handing over a cheque for $28,000, the highest amount the association has raised for the service.
That surplus allows us to develop things. You know, we've got a big program coming up in the years ahead.
We did 17,000 the first year, 22,000 the second year and 28,000 this year, and it was overwhelming, the support that we've got from people all over Tasmania and all the businesses across Tasmania.
Next year's truck run will be held on March 3.
Nicola Carey has turned down a national contract with Cricket Australia to spend a full pre-season in Tasmania. After struggling to break into Australia's 11 during recent series against India and Pakistan, the all-rounder has chosen to spend winter here to develop her skills so she can make a stronger push for international selection down the track. Tigers teammate Heather Graham accepted her contract offer and will be in the frame for an upcoming tour of the UK. One game in and Tornadoes import Riley Lupfer has already made an impact. She put together 22 points, 7 assists and 5 steals on debut in Launceston's 39-point thumping of the Hobart Chargers. She says her role in the Tawns is far more versatile.
Even in college I had a point guard that did most of the facilitating, so I wasn't made to go create space and get assists and stuff, so that is an adjustment.
After wearing last year's jerseys in the season opener, the Tawns' new kits have finally arrived, featuring more black than previous designs.
Good evening, Hobart, just 16 degrees today, 8 degrees warmer in Launceston with the state's high of 24, Devonport 20 and Burnie 19. -1 at Lyawini started the day, 15 later there, Smithton 22, Friendly Beaches and Ouse 21, Lowhead and the Islands 20 degrees, St Helens reached 19, Strawn 17. Afternoon convective cloud developed over the northwest and northeast of the state today. A few smoke plumes as well from the burn-offs. A band of cloud spirals around a low over the Bight. More cloud gathered over South Australia. Patchy low cloud elsewhere across the country. Tomorrow the low pressure system continues to track over the Bight as the high moves to our east. Troughs remain over central and northern parts. Mostly northeasterly winds tomorrow, 20 knots around the coastline, lighter winds over the lakes, swells up to 3 metres in southern waters. Thursday for Hobart, partly cloudy and 21. Partly cloudy for Cygnet as well, 21 degrees and 23 the high for New Norfolk. Launceston shooting for 22 but a shower or two in the north. Devonport showers increasing, 20, 21 the high for Campbelltown. Burnie a top of 18 degrees, showers increasing. A shower or two for Strawn and also for Smithton, temperatures in the low 20s. 19 for St Helens, 20 for Swansea, partly cloudy there, a shower or two for Fingal and 19. A gloomy forecast for Good Friday, morning rain and possible thunderstorms over the north with showers developing elsewhere during the day. Showers on into Saturday as the winds pick up, might be snow too around the 900 metre level, and on Sunday another light dusting of snow with showers again over most parts except the north. Sunny and 25 in Perth, 25 as well for Adelaide but showers there. Late showers in Melbourne, a shower or two for Sydney. Sunny and 29 in Brisbane, fine in Darwin but a storm for Alice Springs. 11 degrees right now in Hobart, 16 in Launceston, partly cloudy in Devonport and 15. The Easter rush is on, Kim. Doing my seafood shopping tomorrow. I'll also drop into the bakery, so tomorrow night I might have for you some hot cross puns.
Oh dear, and I won't be here to get the buns or the puns. Thank you very much, Murph. That is all your news for now. We'll have updates throughout the evening. Good night, everyone.